Welcome back. I'm Tom Hewitt, and this is News 13's Eye on the Election. I'm here with Steve Thompson, who's running unopposed for the House. And Steve, you're the only member of the Interior delegation who is running unopposed this time around. So how will you serve Interior residents well, and what's basically a guaranteed term for you?
Well, Tom, I feel pretty humbled that I am unopposed, and I want my constituents to know that, and I know that they expect me to go down to Juneau and get some things accomplished this year that will help the Interior and all of Alaska as far as energy and things like that. So we've got some ideas that we're trying to work on already, and it gives me an opportunity to do that instead of having to do all of the campaigning.
Governor Sean Parnell has called for a sizable cut to the state's oil excise tax scheme, and that's intended to spur production on the North Slope, but it would also be a pretty big dent in the state's revenues. What's your take on the governor's plan? Because it's certain to come up again this next legislative session. Do you support it, and if so, why?
Yes, the one that we had last year, House Bill 110, it had some flaws, I have to admit that, and I think that everybody knows that, but it did pass the House and was sent over to the Senate. It didn't have any guarantees that the savings by the oil companies would be reinvested in Alaska. We're trying to figure out how to make those guarantees fit their constitution, but I really feel like we have to do something to spur investment in the North Slope. When you look at, we only have a 4-month drilling season, the harsh conditions up on the North Slope, no roads to most places where they're going to want to drill. The fact that 80% of all of the wells that are drilled are dry holes, I mean not dry, but not producible hydrocarbons. It's kind of a risk for people to drill up on the North Slope. And if they do find something and the prices are up, then they don't have that opportunity to risk to reap the rewards because of our increasing taxes. The price of oil goes up. So I think there needs to be something done. How to get it done, I haven't seen anything yet that looks like there's any way to guarantee reinvestment, but I think that there's got to be something done. If the people are going to invest in drilling up there in the legacy areas, which will put the oil into the line the fastest, we've got to have something which is sustainable for an investment to do so. It's kind of a catch-22, but it might be a giveaway, but you have to look at it in two ways. With the declining oil, possibility of prices of oil going down, we might be going to reduce the take from the oil companies, but the alternative is that we might not have any revenue because of the no oil in the line. So we've got to kind of figure out that, okay, if we give away $1.5 billion in taxes, 5 years from now, maybe we're giving away $6 billion because we don't have any oil going into the line. So we've got to do something to spur investment.
Mayor Luke Hopkins' plan for a natural gas utility run by the borough seems to be the option that local efforts to bring natural gas to Fairbanks are coalescing around for kind of a midterm option, natural gas trucking, that sort of thing. Do you plan to fight for state funds to help support that project or one like it? And if so, I guess, what do you plan to do?
Well, I think that there's got to be some state involvement in this. The borough plan, I'm not sure exactly which way they're going to go with it, to push for the liquefaction plant on the slope or to push for a distribution system here in Fairbanks. That's not been clarified yet, and it will be, I'm sure. We have to move pretty rapidly because it's not long before the session starts, and if we want to try to get something meaningful passed this year, we're going to have to move pretty rapidly to get it in place. That plan has a possibility of helping. I'd like to see something done this year. We've got to get something in place. There's a lot of competing entities, and if that can help bring those entities together and get something that is meaningful that will be supported down in Juneau, I'm all in favor of it. So it's something that we have to do, though, in order to relieve the energy crisis we have in the interior.
Speaking of energy in the interior, one of your signature legislative accomplishments this past session was a credit for oil and gas exploration in the Nenana Basin here close to home. And the Doi Unlimited, the native corporation, has tried looking there once before and didn't really find anything, but spurred by this, they're going to have a second look. Are you optimistic that they will eventually be successful in looking for oil and gas there?
Oh, I am very optimistic. The hole they drilled in 2009, they did hit hydrocarbons and evidence of in the structure that there is something there. They've done a lot of seismic work since then, and they really feel positive that they're going to find something meaningful. I was very pleased to see that legislation that passed in 2012 is already being used. They've applied for 3 permits to drill 3 different locations. They're planning on drilling, if they can get the permits, 1 hole at least this year. They're going to have 1, and they're hoping to have results. So it was very positive. It's something that's close to Fairbanks. It's close to infrastructure that we can possibly help. That would be nice.
All right. Well, I think that's about all the time we have, but thank you, Steve, for coming in.
That was short and quick.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Oh, of course. Thank you. And for the rest of you, don't go away just yet. We've got Jamie Schwartzwald coming up next with sports.